Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, January 2nd. It is 6:23 right now. Market's going to open in about 7 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and set up this room real quick and we'll get started shortly with our analysis for today. A couple things here to update. Sit there. There are a few more things here. All right, looks like we are good to go. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium. All right, it's like link sent out. Get a few moments for people to make their way in. As people join in, I'm going to go ahead and start market liquidity over here on the daily chart. Going over here to the 8-hour. Going down to the 4-hour. Going down to the 2-hour. I'm going to update this high right here. Looks like this high has already been knocked out. Going down to the 1-hour. Looks like this one's knocked out too. All right, going down to the 30-minute. 15-minute. Color this red. Down to the 10-minute. And it looks like we are good to go. So, all right, going down to the 1-minute here. And there goes liquidity. So, all right, guys, good morning, everybody. Today is Tuesday, January 2nd. Happy New Year's, everyone. 6:26 right now. Market's going to open in about 4 minutes. We've got liquidity marked up here. Closest level above is going to be at 37,817 right here. And the closest level below is going to be at 37,758. So, bit of a distance away from each other. So we got liquidity marked up right there. Let's go over here to the clean chart. Let's go over to 4-hour real quick, see if there's any structure here for us to draw up. Structure right there. And structure down here. And this candle here hasn't closed yet, but it looks like there's probably going to be some structure right there. Let me go down to the 1-hour. So we'll come back and maybe make some adjustments a little later, but for the most part, that looks like that's pretty much it for right now. There's more structure right here. I guess we can take this off first, maybe put this back up later. So that's pretty much it. We got 1-hour structure right here. Support level. We got 4-hour resistance level. Yeah, nothing too crazy. Going back down to the 1 minute. we got the 1 hour support level right there. 4 hour resistance level right there. We'll also draw structure in between. Retail sentiment is currently 79% short, indicating that 79% of retail traders are currently selling right now. So we typically want to do the opposite and buy. Looking at the news real quick. News for today, we have news at 6:45 and 7. That's pretty much it. All right, so we got news here. 6:45 and 7 o'clock. All right, guys. Morning, everybody. Let's see who's here so far. Morning, Daniel. Morning, Kevin. Morning, Johnny. Morning, Kenny. Morning, Sisu. Nice. Happy birthday, Kenny. Yeah, Kenny's 46 today. Big 46. Happy birthday, Kenny. Hey, Alan. Morning, Stephen. Morning, Albert. Morning, Craig. Morning, sir. Morning, everybody. All right, guys. So market is going to open here in about a minute. We have news at 6:45, 7 o'clock. Again, I'll be here 6:45 and 7 o'clock. So if you guys are looking for the breakout, we currently have a sell signal right here. So you're going to be looking for a strong red candle on open. However, the sentiment over here is super high for a buy. So you might want to be careful for the sells. However, we'll continue looking. If it does come up, I'll mark it up for you guys. But yeah, you might want to be careful with the sells. So hey, Sisu, it's your birthday too. Happy birthday, Sisu. All right, guys. So good morning, everybody. Looks like majority of you guys are here so far. Looks like we're ready to kick off this new year. So market is going to open in about 5 seconds. And we'll be ready to kick this off. Kenny's birthday is tomorrow too. Nice, a lot of birthdays around early January. All right, guys, so we got a current buy signal right here that's currently pending. If this here closes with a buy signal, if it closes with a buy signal, it's a strong green candle. This will technically be the breakout, but I'm not going to take it because it's going to be right at the sessions, of course, that you guys can see. It's cutting into the sessions already. So this here would be the breakout version 1, but it's going to be like literally right at the session, so I wouldn't take it. Right there. So and also the candle is super huge. So, I mean, there's a lot of reasons not to take that specific entry right there. As you can see, it's rejecting directly off the sessions. That's exactly why we avoid the sessions, because stuff like this happens. So no entry there. The buy signal didn't close. There's another pending buy signal right here. Price is kind of still bouncing around. You're going to get a lot of crazy movement here because we're coming back from the new year, for the new year. So market's technically been closed for quite a bit. I think, yeah, 4 days. So you get a lot of this crazy back and forth movement here. Again, if you get a strong red candle, the momentum here is still bearish until we get that buy signal. So if you get a strong red candle, the breakout could still be for a sell. However, it's not really looking like that's going to be the case today. It looks like price will probably continue climbing up a little bit higher. So we'll continue to wait. Probably best to wait for the market to kind of stabilize here a bit. Personally, I don't really want the buy signal to close here. I want the price to push up a little bit higher, like maybe up here, and then provide the buy signal up here so that we can ride this up higher, right? So we'll see. We're not gonna force anything today. As you guys know, this is gonna be our first trade of the year, so we want to make it count. So right here, we do have the breakout version 1 currently running. It's right at the sessions though, so I wouldn't necessarily take it. If this here closes with another buy, with another green candle, this will be a breakout version 3. So the breakout version 1 is right here, full TP on the breakout version 1. There's a buy signal here with a strong green candle. And then now we have a possible breakout version 3 running right here. But again, it's touching the session, so not exactly the trade that I would necessarily want to take for myself personally. There's no need to force any trades, guys. It's the first trading day of the year. You got a whole year ahead of you, so you know, our main goal here is to find consistency and take quality trades. So yeah, again, still no entries here at the moment, but we will continue looking. So this here would be the breakout version 3. I would look for maybe a confluence. So I wouldn't take this trade necessarily on its own. I'd probably just look for another confluence here. Like look for price to maybe push up a little bit, come back down for a V1, and then continue up higher. But again, we have 2 entries here that are currently running 2 breakouts. The breakout version 1 already hit full TP right here. Now we have a breakout version 3 running right next to it. Volatility is actually very, very high right now. As you can see, the ATR is currently 19. So one thing that I will probably look for here will probably be the momentum pullback scalp. That's probably going to be one that I would probably look for. So that'd be a confluence entry that I'd be looking to take because there's a lot of space up here. So the breakout V3 is currently pushing up higher. I'll be looking for the momentum pullback scalp if it does come up anytime soon. And if this here closes, so again, if this here closes, and it did, we now have a breakout version 2. So we got the breakout version 1 that already hit, breakout version 3 that already hit, now breakout version 2 that's currently running right next to it right here. So we got a couple of, like a lot of entries that are running alongside each other. Again, I just be a little careful if you guys are looking to take any of these trades because price is super overextended at this point. So we got 3 of the breakouts running alongside each other right here. Breakout version 1, full TP, breakout version 3, full TP, and the breakout version 2 currently running right now. So I'll be looking over here for the next opportunity. As we continue along. Nice. So Steven over here took the breakout version 3 and he reached his goal for the day, 1,000. Nice work, Steven. Yeah, but again, guys, price is super overextended right here. So just be a little careful with any entries that you guys are looking to take. If you guys want to take the momentum pullback scalp, there may be a possible entry here. But again, like I mentioned, the candles, it's very overextended. So I'd be super careful if you're looking to take anything here. It's overextended 1,500 pips. That's a pretty big push to the upside. So if you guys are looking to take the, I'm going to hold off on it right now. I'm going to hold off on it at the moment because it is, it's way too overextended. So, I mean, if anybody wants to take it, I'll mark it up for you guys, but I'm probably not going to take it myself. I'll see where the level's at. So, but all 3 of the breakout or 2 of the breakouts here hit. This is the 3rd one so breakout version 1 and breakout version 2 hit. Breakout version 3 looks like it's not going to play through. I kind of expected because it's super overextended. I wouldn't take a trade this far out. So I'm just going to take these off to clean up a little bit. The momentum pullback scalp would have happened right here. Looks like it's already filled. And it looks like it might hit TP already. So I'll continue following it in full TP right there. I didn't take the trade. It was just way too overextended for me. I'm being very, very careful right now because it's just super overextended. The ATR is a little too high right now. It jumped. So like earlier this morning, it was like at 9. It's now at 21. It's way too high right now. So you want to be careful with your entries because if you're entering, so we do want volatility. We just don't want too high volatility, right? If the volatility is too high, then it becomes a little tricky because then you have to increase your TP stop loss because then the market's moving too fast. Right now, it's kind of okay. But if it stays above 22 or 25, if it goes past 25, then you might have to adjust TP stop loss because if your TP stop loss is like 1030, yeah, your TP is probably gonna get hit, but your stop loss might get hit too, right? Because it'd be moving too fast, especially if the ATR is 30. If ATR is 30, that means each candle is moving at least 300 pips. And that can be easy for your stop loss to get hit if it's too tight. So I think this is just for today. It's the 1st of January, of course. Volatility is very high. If you guys remembered from our spreadsheet, you guys will see a lot of the entries over here that were taken in the earlier month of January. You can see this trade over here. We took the breakout version 2 for 1,500 pips. So you can see that the volatility is extremely high early on in the month, but it starts to kind of taper off as price continues to obviously move around. So all right, other than that, we'll continue to look for any possible entries here. So let's see. Steven's asking if it was okay that he took the V3. The V3 was a little more better than the V1 because it wasn't right at the session. So the V3 was okay, but it wasn't necessarily like I wouldn't consider it quality. That's why I didn't take it myself because it was still touching the sessions there. So let me just take the lines off here real quick. So the V3 happened right here. This V3 candle was touching the sessions. So it was better than the V1 because the V1 here was right at the sessions, but the V3 was past it and it was okay, but I still wouldn't consider it quality. If it was quality, I would have taken it, but I didn't take it. So whatever I don't take is considered risky, of course. Still an entry, but quality, I wouldn't say quality. So let's see what happens here. Price is coming back to the sessions. If price stays above this area, that's completely fine. You know, we'll trade around this area, but the area that we want to be careful for is when price comes back to the sessions right here, because this is where a lot of manipulation may happen around this area. Let me go to market opening price. I haven't done that yet. So opening price was this huge green candle right here. All right, we got that one right there. Mark this one up right here. All right, so price is back at the sessions, of course, as you guys can see. Markup 6:30. Markup 8 o'clock. This is our clean chart right here. I'll mark up structure in between too, and structure starts to come up on the 1 minute because I don't think price is going to reach these higher level support resistance today. So it's just good to know, where these levels are at. So this is currently the 1 minute range. So we got the 1 minute resistance level right here. And then we have the 1 minute support level down here. So price decides to range, it'll probably range between these two levels here. We'll come back, we'll just keep bouncing between these two charts or these three charts just to see where everything's at. Here's liquidity. Liquidity obviously got hit right here on open. So the first level of liquidity right there already got hit. Full TP on that if anybody caught that there. But again, price might just range around this area. You can see it's currently at the session, so a lot of uncertainty here. Price can probably range between this area, and then you'll see if it corrects back up or if it corrects back down. And then I believe we have news over here at 6:45. So we had news coming up in about 4 minutes. Yeah, and Maddie mentioned if price corrects and continues, he has a target price point of the Asia sessions. Yeah, and that's kind of where I see it going to. So Maddie mentioned that if price continues to push up, he's expecting price to reach these sessions up here, which is the next target price point, which I agree with 100%. So this is why I was worried about taking breakout. So you guys can see how price came right back down, right? Price came up, faked out right here, came right back to the sessions. Now at this point, price is going to either correct back up. There's actually three different scenarios. Price will either correct back up. It'll either range within this area here between the sessions, or it'll probably correct back down to opening price, right? We don't like that. We don't like when there's too many opportunities, like there's too many options here, because you kind of, it becomes a toss up, right? If there's too many options here, it's okay if you have like two options, like, okay, price can go up or down, because you're going to have like a pretty good, you're going to have pretty good ideas to where price is going to go. If there's three different options there, like a sideways up or down, then at that point, it becomes a little tricky because you can be partially right, or you can be partially wrong, or you can be completely wrong. So, and it looks like the retail sentiment here has changed a bit. See, Maddie said retail sentiment has changed to 82%. Yeah, it jumped. So 79, now it's 82. It looks like a lot of people here are trying to catch the top. So I think price will continue to climb up higher. Price might get manipulated to the downside temporarily, and I think it'll swing all the way back up. So I kind of want this to come down now. So I want price to actually come down further. just to lure in some more traders, and then come back up and stop them all out. Right, that's exactly what I'm looking for. And if you guys want to look for liquidity right here too, I mean, you guys can even mark up liquidity on the 1 minute time frame, right? You get these highs marked up right here. Oops, let me fix that. So let's see. You know, we'll color these levels of liquidity green on the 1 minute so that you guys can just see it's a different color. But this is only if price drops lower. So what you want to see here is you want price to drop down lower, and then you'll get these 1 minute liquidity levels marked up right here, right? Because once it comes down, that's where it's going to come back and stop everybody out. So let it come down a little bit, draw more liquidity, comes back up, stops them out, goes straight to the next level. So I actually want price to drop price. I want news to drop price down. That's going to be beneficial for us. We got a buy signal here. It's too close to news. So if we do get a V3 continuation, I wouldn't take it. So this right here would technically be a V3 continuation if you guys are looking to take it. It's right at news though, so I wouldn't take it if it does close green. So if this candle here closes green, this would be a breakout V3 continuation entry for 100 pips, but it's right at news, so I wouldn't take it. It's high impact news too, like super high impact. I wouldn't bother even looking at the charts right now. If you guys are in any positions, be careful because I'm expecting a big push to happen here. So the forecasting of the news to be negative. And I mean, we'll see what happens here. Yeah, Steven, you should probably just wrap it up. I mean, you're good with your profits for the day, so there's no need to hang out and risk it. Steven said, not losing my chips I made today. This guy's treating this like a casino with his chips. All right, Steven, we'll see you back here tomorrow. So Steven's done for the day. All right, we have news right here. I'm gonna mark this up as news. Take that off. We got more news right here. Take that off. Thanks, Maddie. Maddie said the news is negative. All right, so you want to be super careful now if you guys are looking at the charts. So the news was negative, but price is still pushing up, right? So we're probably gonna get a manipulation to the upside and it's probably gonna come right back down. So just be careful. Like, look for the reaction to news. So price hasn't came down yet. This pink line right here is news. And since the news here was negative, it was worse than forecasted, then this has to come down at some point. So just be very careful about any buys here. I wouldn't recommend chasing any buys just yet because the news is negative. It was high impact news. So I'm expecting some sort of reaction to the news. So, I mean, if you guys can sit tight, sit tight. I'm going to sit tight as long as I can. If I see something really good, maybe I'll take it, but I want to see price come down below news first. So I want price to actually come down below this pink line, hang around down here for a little bit. And then if it comes back up, then okay, great. I'm ready for some entries, right? But I'm not going to take anything up here yet. I know there's a high-low scalp that's possibly setting up right here. There's a high-low scalp that's possibly setting up right there, but I'm not going to take it, not yet. I want to see price react to the news first, which is fine. I actually want price to kind of come up a little bit, fake out, come back down, because when this fakes out right there, it's just going to create more levels right here, right? So now you have a pretty nice level of liquidity here. So if you guys have traded liquidity with me a long time ago, you guys remember whenever you get two levels next to each other like this, when price finally comes back to this point, it's going to blast right through, right? We like this. So this is a good setup right here. Now we want price to come down a little bit. Once it comes back up, it hits this point, it's probably going to blast right through it. We just need this here to establish. So in order for it to establish, we need about like 5 or 6 candles to pass. So once 5, 6 candles pass, this lower higher here is going to establish, and it's going to create a level of liquidity right here on the 1 minute time frame. So these are all confluences. I mean, you guys have seen this before. If you guys have been trading with me for a while, this was like our original liquidity strategy. The reason why we changed it was because this was too risky. You know, we'd have a ton of liquidity here and it'd be really good. Like you make a lot of profit trading it, but you started to get greedy. you would start to lose a lot because it happens so quickly. So other than that, continuing to look over here. Yeah, so Maddie and Daniel just mentioned that there was a momentum pullback scalp that just came up right here. I don't know if anybody was able to catch it. It happened pretty quick off this previous candle. So price pushed up right here, red candle, momentum pullback scalp levels right here at the 900 mark. You could have entered right there, would have pushed right up to your TP and came right back down. I think it was too close to news for me, so I wouldn't have taken it. Yeah, it was just a little too close to news because news happened at 6:45. But it's a good entry, it played out. All right, so this is exactly what I was just warning about, right? So this is what I wanted to see. Price is having a reaction to the news. I want it to come down below this pink line. This is what was supposed to happen. So I want it to come down lower. It's still not that far down yet. I want it to drop down a bit lower. Obviously, news is negative. The 7 o'clock news, I'm not too worried about because it's low impact. It's just construction spending month over month. The forecasting to be flat. So I'm not too worried about the 7 o'clock news right here. Actually, I want a sell signal to come up though, so we can start looking for a possible breakout V3 continuation. Yeah, Maddie said once that liquidity establishes, looks like it's going to blast right through. Yeah, I can see that too. So liquidity right here is I think this is a pretty good level right here, liquidity. Let's take a look at the strategies that we applied over here. So a lot of momentum scalps, breakouts, momentum scalp variations around this time. So yeah, I mean, if you guys see any momentum scalps, possibly an entry for you, if you do see it. So that basically, in order to get a momentum scalp, you're just looking for a buy signal. So you need a sell signal first before you can look for that. But once you get that, you really just need a buy signal, a valid buy signal. So a green candle with a buy signal, and that's going to be a momentum scalp. You guys can see over here from last year in January, momentum scalp was taken a lot. So you guys are looking for something really easy to take to be momentum scalp, but we need a sell signal first. So we need a sell signal to come up, and then the momentum scalp may come up. And when the momentum scalp comes up, it's going to line up with the breakout V3 continuation. So just, keep that in mind. I don't know if this liquidity here is confirmed yet. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, this level of liquidity right here. Again, if you guys want to take this level of liquidity, this could be another opportunity here for anybody. If you guys, I just don't know if it's established yet because it's only been a couple candles. So yeah, it looks like there's going to be a level of liquidity there now. So it looks like it's just going to probably build up a bunch of levels here, as you guys can see. There's another lower high right here. Once this here establishes, there'll be like 3 levels of liquidity right there. But at the moment, it looks like price is just bouncing back and forth between, it's starting to establish a range here. You can't really see it too obvious here, but if I just mark up some structure here, you guys can see that it's creating some sort of range around this area. Or I mean, it could even be bouncing off the structure right here, off the news price. But again, there's no entries for us right now. Looks like price is kind of stabilized a little bit off the news. It didn't really have that big drop that I was kind of waiting for though. Well, not really a big drop, but drop below the pink line here where the news was at. But that's completely fine. I mean, if that's the case and price doesn't decide to drop further, then price can just be where it's at now and continue to move around this area here. But again, it looks like price is establishing this range here. It's having trouble getting past the 1-minute resistance level, which is normal. Yeah, it's pretty much just ranging around this area here. Craig said, happy with his profits for the day. Catch up tomorrow. Yeah, definitely, Craig. We'll see you back here tomorrow. Maddie said he wants a pending buy signal before taking liquidity. Same here. I want the same thing because if price does break through, that pending liquidity will be, or that pending buy signal will be like a push that will actually push through it. So I actually want a sell signal to come up here. I want a sell signal to confirm the retracement. And then once we get the next buy signal, that'll provide opportunity for the next push to the upside. Right now, we just don't have that sell signal. Price also didn't come back below news price here, which it should have. It's just a lot of things here to look out for. So looking over here at the team profits, we got a couple people over here who have posted profits so far. We have Craig with a total profit of 2,790 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Craig. We have Natasha, total profit of 810 for the day, all wins as well. Looks like you guys took a breakout. We have David, total profit of 108 for the day. Nice work, David. We got Shannon, total profit of 116 per account. Great work, Shannon. We got Kenny, total profit of 2,440. Great work, Kenny. Nice little birthday profit there for you. Natasha's earlier profit, 655. And Craig's earlier profits, 1,900. Great work, guys. So back to the charts here. Perfect. So price is dropping below the pink line. This is what we were waiting for. But you can see that this pink line is starting to act like a support. This is kind of where the range is happening at. It's ranging between this top area and this pink line, which is the support now, which is completely fine. You know, this could be the case. I mean, this could be even a V1 variation setting up right here if this closes green. Exactly. Like Maddie said, pending V1 body. So this could be a V1 variation. I mean, if anybody's looking to take a small little trade here, if it does close as a V1, because it's ranging within these points here, right? So if price continues to range between this point, that V1 could be enough to get you at least 100 pips. If you really, really want to take a trade right now, I know some of you guys are probably getting some FOMO and you want to take a trade. It would be enough opportunity to catch 100 pips there, but it has to close green. You have to really wait for it to close because it's not really moving too much here, and this can easily just drop back down at the very last second. So yeah, if anybody wants to catch a little move there, you got to wait for the candle to close green. If it doesn't close green, then there's no entry there for a V1. I'm not going to take it. I'm just going to wait. And there's no green candle there. So this is kind of what I hate about the candles moving slower, because when they move fast, you know for sure they're going to close green, right? Right here, the volatility is still pretty high. The ATR is still 19, but the candles aren't really moving. They're not closing very strong. Again, right here, another V1 pattern that could be setting up if it closes green. We got news about 5 minutes away. So again, you want to be a little careful with any other entries here. And yeah, Chem over here also mentioned that there's a V3 sell. I probably wouldn't take any sells right now because of just all the confluences, right? And all the confluences are kind of pointing towards the upside. The trend up is so strong. The retail sentiment is super high. I wouldn't want to trade with retail right now. It's 82%. Fundamentals here are they're still bearish. I mean, it's pretty mixed. So actually, I guess the seller could be okay, and there's a V1 variation right there running, guys. If anybody decided to take it, I was going to try to get into that there, but it's a little too late. Let me see if I can maybe get in for a little bit. So the V1 variation right here came up. Looks like it might have hit CP already. Yeah, it actually already hit CP. Let me see where I'm at here. Yeah, I think it happened too quickly. Let's see. Johnny caught it. William caught it. I'm gonna try to catch a partial of it. All right, so I caught a partial of it right there, guys, because I had my pending order waiting right there for it, and then it never filled. And when it came back down, it filled really quick. I was in the position. I just closed out for like $500, something super small, because I already missed the trade. Wasn't anything for me there to really hold on to. So got in and out super quick. Not going to count that as an official trade, of course, because it wasn't anything good. Should have just held on to it, blasted right through. But yeah, Daniel caught it, William caught it, Johnny caught it. The reason why this V1 here actually looked pretty good was because it was bouncing between the support resistance, right? Whenever you guys see like a range happening like this right here, when it touches it, the first touch is usually kind of risky, right? So right here, price came down and touched it a couple times. When it comes down like a second or third time, it's probably going to bounce up and continue up higher. But I would only take the bounces that are in the direction of our bias. So if the trend here is super bullish, like it currently is, then the bottom bounces are more likely to play out versus the top bounces, right? So I mean, it's a basic support resistance trade, but the V1 was the confluence there. And there goes a momentum scalp. I just missed it. This is what I was looking for, actually. I was looking for the buy signal here to provide entry for a momentum scalp entry. So we got a V3 pending over here, a possible V3. The only problem here is that it's right at news. I mean, if anybody's looking to take it, that's completely fine. But that's the only thing that I'd probably just, be a little careful for. It's also at the resistance right here. So I know the news here, I said it wasn't going to be super impactful, but it's still news. So I think for me personally, I already got into a kind of a FOMO trade down here off the V1. I'm just going to sit out on this and just wait. But yeah, there could be a V1 entry over here as well. Yeah, Kip, and also the momentum scalp and the pivot scalp that you like to take there. So this strategy actually hits a lot earlier in the year. Okay, here is the V3 variation. So what I'll do is I'll just wait a little bit. If it pulls back a little bit, I'll enter with the buy stop right there. Let me see if I can put a buy stop over here real quick. Buy stop happened at 37,644, 37,644. I'm gonna put that. Pending order. And I hate putting in a pending order. It's so annoying. Oh, it's too late now. Can't even put a pending order. It's already pushing up. All right, so let me see if I can still get into this. I was trying to put my pending order there, but then it pushed up already. I was looking for it to pull down a little more and then fill it, but it's already pushing up. Let me see if I get into this here. It's pushing up. So pushing up to liquidity. Let's see. It already blasted through the liquidity. All right, I gotta get out of it. This thing, okay, I got caught in this right here. I think it might have given me a loss on that. Okay, it's okay. I got caught in a little spike right here and price spike down. That's why I hate putting manual orders in. I should just hold on to it. Okay, I'm getting into like some FOMO trades here. I don't know. I gotta control myself a little bit. So I entered that trade there again. I was trying to put the pending order. It happened too quickly. The pending order didn't hit. So when it came back down, I just entered manually. And then when I closed it out, it came down and just spiked me out for some liquidity, or not liquidity. It spiked me up for some slippage, which is it's all good. All right, we'll see where price goes from here. This market's just moving a little too fast for me today. I was expecting a lot of quick movement, but not like it's like spiky. It's not like a smooth, consistent push up or consistent push down. We currently might have momentum pullback scalp right here. If the candle closes red, then we'll get a momentum pullback scalp. Let me take this off. There's just too much stuff on the chart. Take this off too. That could be setting up right here. So if we get a red candle, the next level of entry would be at the lower level down here at the 40 mark, 940. So I'll continue looking for any entries here. Sorry guys, if you guys are new here, you guys are getting kind of lost. Like there's just so much stuff happening on the chart right now that you have to know the strategy that we're applying. Okay, we have a possible momentum pullback scalp entry. That's right here. Nice. Kenneth said done for the day, just hit his profit target to do his first withdrawal. Nice work, Kenneth. Yeah, nice work, guys. All right, so there is a possible momentum pullback scalp entry coming up right here if anybody's looking to take it. I'm going to try to get into it. I just can't put a pending order because the numbers here don't line up with I guess I could put a pending order. So I do it super quickly. So levels would be right at basically where the low is from this point. No, I'm not gonna put a pending order because there might be another entry that pushes along here. So there's no entry there yet. That's the one thing that I missed about trading on TradingView with Top Step is that you can like literally just click and place the order. On MC4, it's super annoying because you can't just click and place. You got to put a bunch of you got to calculate it. It's just so much work. All right, so there's still no entry here for the momentum pullback scalp. The good thing is that news is pretty much done, so pretty much just waiting for any possible entries here. Man, this market's just too fast for me today. I don't know, I'm just kind of slow. I think it's because I wasn't necessarily planning on taking anything too risky today, but there's so many opportunities here that it's hard to pass up. There's a lot of entries here that are coming up, and there's just red flags because not big red flags, but like, prices overextended and stuff like that, that it kind of makes me not want to take the trade. But then the volatility is so good that it's probably going to keep pushing in that direction. So we got another possible opportunity here for a momentum pullback scalp. Not there yet, but it is setting up here. So again, if this candle closes a little lower, entry is going to be right here at the 40 mark. If it closes above, it's going to be here at the 50 mark. So you kind of got to wait to see where this candle here closes. And then from there, you can look for. All right, it didn't really close red, so we can't really tell. It closes a doji. So no red candle there. I look for the next red candle here. Let's see if I'm all set. Recommending trade this product. Well, I'll check that out. Jamal, thanks for the link. Let me put that in my notes over here. Yeah, because if there's a quicker way to set your TP stop loss, like I think one thing that would be super cool for FTMO Quick Trade Manager is if you can just put a price there, like a price for entry, and then have an automatic TP stop loss. Because it's easier on TradingView where you can just put the number of pips that you want versus putting the price. Like I don't understand why MC4 never came up with that. It's so useful. All right, so we got nothing here yet, guys. Price is super far up now, so this might be setting up for a new high-low scalp level. Price is kind of just bouncing around this area here. There's not really anything for us to take here. There's no the only entry that can possibly come up would be a momentum pullback scalp. The only problem here is that price is so far up that I probably won't want to take this next entry. It's not overextended yet, but it's getting there. So it's not there yet, but as you guys can see, it is getting there. All right, so let's see how this candle here closes. And it is creeping up to the sessions like Maddie and Rashida here had mentioned, which is the target price point that we were looking for. So if that's the case, I mean, price might continue climbing up. So again, here, there's no momentum pullback scalp yet. We need a red candle. Still no red candle. This high here hasn't been established yet. Almost though. All right, so if this here closes red, entry for the momentum pullback scalp would be at the 50 mark right here. Again, it has to close red. These candles here are starting. I mean, the volatility is starting to die down a bit. You can see the volatility is now down to 18. It was at 22 earlier, down to 18. And it looks like price might just consolidate here a bit. Let's check retail sentiment. Retail sentiment is actually higher. So I think price will probably continue climbing. It's 83% short. So people keep trying to catch the top here. I don't think there's going to be a top here anytime soon, at least not yet. All right, so price is coming down. All right, there's a pending sell signal there. I'm not going to take this entry right here. Yeah, I'm not going to risk it. There's a pending sell signal there. It came up immediately. I was thinking about maybe taking this for the momentum pullback scalp, but with that sell signal there pending, it's not really a good opportunity in my personal opinion, because as I mentioned, price is already overextended. It's due for retracement. So I'd probably look for it to just come back up, because eventually it's going to come back up, right? So I didn't get into this level, into this momentum pullback scalp here. The ATR is still high. Yeah, Johnny's hit a sell signal with a double body. So there's a double body right here. It's not a V1 pattern, but it's a double body. The V1 would have happened if there was like down here. So it's a double body, but not a V1 variation. So I wouldn't consider it a reversal pattern, at least not yet. Okay, so this might be a V1 to the upside, because now it's at the low, but there's no pending buy signal. So a little bit of a problem here because there's no buy signal. This would just be a V1, but a continuation, I guess. Not exactly a V1 entry. Yeah, Jeff said sharks. Sharks. I clicked it the moment the sell signal came out. Yeah, so if you get a V1 here or a double body right here, it'll probably continue pushing up. So I mean, if anybody still wants to enter the trade here, you can still technically enter it for a late entry. If anybody's looking to take that there. If you want to get in for a discount, let me see if I can maybe get in for a discount right here too. Try to get in with you guys. It's pushing up. Where is it at right here? It's actually better to even at this discount here. All right, so the sell, so there's a sell signal there that closed. I got to close out of mine. Okay, so I got in for the discount, like I mentioned with you guys here. However, you were technically supposed to close here for, and you already hit CP for me too. Technically, you're supposed to close out of this position here. It just happened so quick. This is why I don't like this type of market that much, because it's way too fast, right? It's too fast to think twice. So price came down right here. The sell signal didn't close. And then I was like, okay, you could get in for a discount here if you want, because price pulled down lower and you could have got it in right here, right? Just to get into this trade late. This is usually how I enter the trades anyways. So I got in late right here. The sell signal closed. I didn't even see it come up. It like literally closed at the last second. And technically you're supposed to close out for a small profit there. However, it pushed right to TP. And I don't think anybody was able to close out there for a small profit. I think if you were holding on to it, it would have went straight to your TP. So Jeff, I think if you were in that position still, I mean, it probably should have went straight to your TP. There was no need to close it yet until that sell signal would have closed. Again, you guys can see how volatile the market is right here. This is why volatility is a double-edged sword, right? Because the volatility is good when it pushes right directly to your position, but it's risky when it like you get into a position and then it just moves back and forth super quickly. Like a lot of these signals are coming up and they're disappearing within seconds, right? Or even less than a second. But I took the trade here for a late entry for the momentum pullback scalp. It hit my TP. I didn't even have time to think. I literally got in for a small discount right here below entry point, and it went straight to my TP right away. So that's the one that I got into, and I'll take a screenshot of my profits here. If this candle here closes with a buy signal, this is technically going to be an entry for a pivot scalp. This is one of Kip's favorites that he likes to take, and this strategy has was used last January and it was hitting pretty often. So you got to wait for it to actually close to take it. But if it does close with the buy signal, that's going to be considered a pivot scalp and a momentum scalp. So if you go back to our data from last year's first trading day of January 3rd, the entries we took were momentum scalp, breakout, momentum scalp variations. All the momentum scalps for January last year, they all hit. So if you want to take the momentum scalps, there's your chance when it comes up. This was a momentum scalp right here and a pivot scalp, full TP. Another buy signal here right here would provide entry for that as well. But again, as you guys can see, the volatility is extremely high. It's a little tricky to be trading right here, but we'll take what we can from the charts. All right, let me just post in my profits real quick. All right, so we got that momentum scalp that's currently running right here. So if anybody wants to take it, let me see if I get into this too. So there's a momentum scalp and a pivot scalp right here. And it's also going to set up for a V3 if anybody's looking to take that. Let me see if I can put a buy stop right here to catch this as it swings up. It'll just be in confluence with the other entry. All right, there's a lot of stuff going on right now, guys. Let me just post this up real quick before I forget. This right here was a momentum pullback scalp. So there goes the first entry right there. All right, I'll put my pending order there. So if it swings up, it'll fill my order, and then it'll probably just continue up higher. But I got my pending order sitting right there. Let me just post my profits for this trade here as well. I'll make it quick for Nick. Sorry, Nick, I just saw your message. All right, here are my profits so far. So just with that one trade there. All right, I'm just gonna cancel my order right here. It's not gonna fill, of course. Canceled it. Yeah, as you guys can see, price is overextended right now with where it's currently at. It's just not in a good area right here. Because I mean, it's for sure overextended at this point now. So from this here, price pushed up to, well, I mean, it's not exactly for sure overextended, but it's getting close to it. All right, price was like pretty much a little overextended, but not fully. But I just don't want to risk it anymore, so I took it off. Other than that, price looks like it's going to be kind of ranging around this area. You can kind of see the range already from here. It's just a messy range. So it looks like price might just range around this area before it ends up pushing up higher. But here are my profits so far. So I only took one trade for the day, which is the momentum pullback scalp right there. Only entry I took, and then here are my profits. So 315 for my funded engineer, 1,860 for my FTMO, 1,960 for my second FTMO, 174 for my second funded engineer, 780 on my personal account, 786 on my TFF, and 686 on my second TFF. So those are my profits so far. But again, price looks like it's just ranging around this area. I think the main thing that I would probably be looking for here would probably be our original entries, right? So it'd be like the momentum pullback scalps and then possibly the breakout V3 continuations. There's just a lot of stuff going on right here. Let me clean this up a little bit. Let me check the news from earlier. Was the news negative as well? So both the news events today were negative. I don't think price has come back down below. So it's the same situation from earlier. You guys can see earlier right here, price never really came back to the news price, but eventually came back and just retested it. It didn't come back below, but it just retested news price. That's kind of the same situation here. Same pattern right here as over here for the most part. So again, we're kind of just waiting for this here to swing back up. But there's not much for us to take here. So basically what you want to look for here is a buy signal and then a green candle after it. That'd be a breakout V3 continuation. Otherwise, just not really much here to look at. See, Maddie said might bounce off news. Fill that buy stop. Still got my eyes on Asia. Yeah, me too. So that's kind of what I'm looking for here too. I'm just looking for price to push back up because the target price point here hasn't gotten hit yet, right? Price might bounce back and forth for a bit, but the target price point is still going to be Asia here. That's obviously going to be target price point. Price might just range around this area, but the target price point that we're looking for price to push up higher to would be Asia up here, the Asia low. So Maddie said he's looking for a V3 plus a high low or a triple confluence. All right, so I mean, this level here could still be used. I don't know. The way that the market's currently moving right now, I'm not really too concerned to take anything else. I'm kind of cool with what I got at the moment because you guys can see that it's very choppy right now. It's choppy and like where it's spiking around a lot. You guys can kind of see from these current candles too. It's pretty obvious from the wicks. So you guys can see the wicks over here, the most recent candles. A lot of big wicks both sides. So there's going to be a lot of back and forth movement, of course, here. But you got to be careful for the fake outs. So retail sentiment over here is still high. So this is why I think price will still push up, but it needs to come back down a little bit because if they don't let price come down, people are not going to enter more sells, right? You kind of got to look at things from a psychological perspective, right? If they want people to get suckered in more, they need to give them something. So these sellers here, they need to have some sort of hope that price is going to come down at least a little bit, and then they're going to come back up and stop them out, which is, that's typically what happens. So, I mean, at this point, it's 7:19. It's getting closer to 7:30. You guys already know my rule. Once it gets to 7:30, I usually start to look for reasons not to take a certain trade, right? So we'll see opportunities here that'll come up. Like, for example, if I see a breakout V3 continuation, I'll look for reasons not to take the trade because I'd rather have reasons not to than reasons to take a trade and then just take it and then be bummed out when it doesn't play out. So whenever I look for a trade here, so for example, if I get a breakout V3 continuation, I'm going to look for any confluences, right? If I don't get a confluence of a V1 pattern, probably not going to take it. If I don't see, price bouncing off of support and resistance, then I probably won't take it. And I think that's kind of what helps with the consistency here. Because you just have to look for reasons not. I think the biggest thing is looking for reasons not to take a trade. If you guys can do that, then you'll avoid risky trades and you'll only look for quality entries. You can see here that price came down. It actually bounced off the one minute resistance here. It's basically a break and retest. Price broke above, retested, and now it's coming back up. Yeah, it bounced perfectly off the 1 minute resistance. I didn't even notice this until now because we came back to it, but it literally bounced directly off the 1 minute resistance level. So pretty good confluence there, like Maddie said. Yeah, definitely. And this is the actual range. So I mean, if you want to take the trade right there, like this is what we looked at earlier, right? So we saw the V1 variation where price came down to the support, and then it bounced directly off it and it came right back up. Man, I kind of wish I left my buy stop there. My buy stop would have gotten filled right now for the push back up. It's all good. All right. So if it pushes through, like Maddie said, this could be a triple confluence. Again, we're still waiting for the price to get to that target price point, which is the Asia low right there. Not there yet. But we'll continue watching. So no buy signal close. There's no V3, there's no breakout V3 continuation there. Other than that, there's not really much here. Price pushed up, didn't really get past the high right there. Here's the problem again. You guys can see how a bunch of highs here are getting set up. You don't want to take any high-low scalp V2s around this area, right? You guys know that because when you have multiple levels around there, this just establishes that there's a resistance there and price is pretty much in a range, which is pretty obvious here. We already marked up the range. So you guys know that price is in a range right here. Yeah, it's obviously in a range. It looks like price can come back down. Let's keep bouncing around this area. So we got another 1 minute resistance level up here now. All right, looks like it's making another attempt to get to the upside. This becomes a little tricky because if the buy signal breaks and closes above, that's a good sign. But that's kind of what you want, because if you get a breakout V3 continuation that happens below this line here, it's going to be a problem because it's going to be stuck at resistance, right? I think that's where price is having trouble getting past, is the resistance, but you need to get it past this leveled area right here. So again, if it closes, this could be looks like it's a momentum scalp again. But again, it's the same situation right here, same fake out area. You would have to look for that. Yeah, it's just too tricky. It's like literally at the resistance. If this closed above, it'd be a lot better, but it didn't close above it. So it makes it a whole lot trickier. This one would be a V1 entry, Jeff, because there's no bias for a sell. You need to have a bias for it to be an entry in that direction. So yeah, it wouldn't be a V1 because everything for them, it's mixed right now. It's retail sentiment is bullish, and then I believe the let's see, retail sentiment is currently 83% short, so it's bullish right here. Technicals are, I mean, they're pretty much neutral right now. You can't really say whether they're bullish or neutral, or bullish or bearish, because they're negative 21. So this is neutral. And looking over here at the technicals, bullish, 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 neutral, bearish, bullish. So yeah, all of these right here is it's pretty much a mix. So it's more so on the bullish side than it is on the bearish side. And yeah, it just wouldn't meet criteria. All right, looks like the market's kind of dead now at this point. It's just bouncing between support and resistance right here on the 1 minute. So a lot of back and forth movement here. I'm not really looking to take any more trades. I'll look for entries here, but I'm personally not going to take any more trades on my account. At this point, this isn't necessarily the only time I would maybe look for an entry is if I get a V1 from down here. So if price comes down and we get a V1 from here, possibly, because odds of that happening are very likely, right? Price comes down, V1 variation, odds of it pushing back up are very likely. So the only thing that I would probably take would be this. I wouldn't even take any breakout V3 continuations because price would need to break this area, but it did exactly what I was kind of warning about. So I mentioned if the buy signal was to close above it, then okay, that'd be great because you could have a push to the upside, but it's really just ranging between the resistance up here. So this buy signal did break and close past it. Obviously, it's probably going to bounce off, and that's kind of what happened here. I mean, if you guys want to trade within the range, you can do that, but I would trade in the direction of bias. So I wouldn't trade in the range off here, but I would trade in the range off here because the bias is more bullish than it is bearish. Yeah, Nathan said a V3 setting up for a sell. I wouldn't take the sell though, because it can just bounce off this right here. Right? And that's kind of what's happening right here. I don't think it's a V1 off that either. No, it's not a double body. It's close to a double body, but it's not a double body, so I'm not going to take it. So you can see the body here isn't level, and it doesn't even look like it's in close green. And the pivot is, or the wick is a little too low. All right, so I guess it's just a waiting game here. I mean, if you guys have any more profits to post up, feel free to send them in. Looking over here at the team profits, we have Albert over here. He officially passes phase 2. Nice work, Albert. So Albert is now funded on FTMO. Nice work, Albert, on a 100K cap, looks like. Total profit of 5,148. Great work right there, Albert. We got Kenneth here, total profit of 1,144 on his first account. Total profit of 1,859 on his second account. And a total profit of 1,433 on his third account, all wins here. And Kenneth made enough to get his first payout. So nice work right there, Kenneth, getting your first payout. We have Martha here, total profit of 750 for the day. We have Johnny, total profit of 2,625, all wins. Nice work, Johnny, on his funded account here, 200K. And other than that, I think that is about it for right now. Yeah, that is about it for right now. So no entries here. There's no V1 off the resistance/support level here off the 1 minute. We don't even really need to put resistance. We can just put like structure, but I think some people like to see if it's resistance or not. But it's really just structure because the resistance turns into support. It was resistance here initially, price broke above, retested, became a support, new resistance came up over here. And yeah, you guys can see the fake out right here, price faked out, and it looks like it's going to swing all the way back up. So I wouldn't be surprised if this comes back up and retest the resistance level right there. This is why you want to be careful trading support resistance, because you'll get fake outs like this. I mean, if you have a big enough stop loss, then you can handle it, right? So for example, here, some people like to put their stop loss super tight, which is completely fine. I understand that. But if you have your stop loss a little lower, 1030 like this, you'll be able to withstand any fake outs, because people like to put their stop loss like super tight, like literally like right here below the line. They get stopped out and then it pushes right back up to hit their TP. So I think this is something we're probably going to focus on a lot more during this year, because what I started to notice, I did a lot of testing with these ranging markets. This actually works very well. So like now I'm going to start marking up the support resistance on the 1 minute. And then if we have a nice like confirmation of this right here, as long as we can confirm the bias, like the direction of price, you can take bounces off these levels here. So if price is bullish or the bias is bullish, you can take the lower bounces, but then I would limit it to just maybe the first or second bounce. So for example, here, I wouldn't take the first bounce right here, but the second one, I would maybe take this one right here back to the upside. And this is, I mean, if the markets continues to range, because last year market ranged a lot, I think this would have been super useful for us to kind of use. But yeah, moving forward, we'll probably try to focus on something like this. I don't think I can make it a specific strategy because it's so subjective, but it's going to be something that we're definitely going to be looking at, obviously moving forward here. So Nathan over here mentioned the breakout V3 continuation for a sell, went straight to TP right there. Sell signal, red candle, push right there. This strategy, technically, you don't need to trade in the direction of bias. I personally like to, but if you wanted to take the trade here for a sell, you could have taken it for a sell right there as well. It's just a little riskier. So you can see over here, I'll just go back and take a look. So right here, we had a sell again, sell signal, red candle. Let's see if this played through. So this one over here played through too. So the breakout V3 continuation for a sell, full TP. Again, right here, breakout V3 continuation, full TP. There hasn't really been any buys here. There's a buy here. So if you guys want to just focus on just one strategy, I think this strategy is perfectly fine too. The only one that would have flopped would have been this one right here, but it was right at the session. So obviously you wouldn't have taken that trade. But yeah, there's one right here, the breakout V3 initial, full TP. There's another one right here, full TP. And I think this is probably going to be a lot of people's favorites moving forward. It's one of my favorites too. You just have to take it during the right times. Which sells are you talking about, Camel? There's only one sell here that I saw lost. It was just this one. It was right at the session, so obviously it would have been avoided. This one over here hit CP, I think, right? Or no, this one looks like this one lost. So this might have been one of the ones that you were mentioning. But again, this is a reason why I don't take the sells. I only would have looked for buys here because I trade in the direction of bias or trend. So I think this one over here might have lost, right? Yeah, so this is one here that lost. This one here obviously would have been avoided. This one would have won and this one would have won. So there's actually just one loss here. This one over here would have been obviously avoided right at the sessions, but I would have skipped them all just like you. Yeah. So Campbell said he skipped all the sells. I would have done the same thing because everything here is kind of pointing towards a buy. So for me personally, I would look for buys for the most part, only buys. And I think that's probably your best option too if you want to look for something that's more quality. But again, there's no entries here right now at the moment. If there's any questions, feel free to put them in the chat, but there's just nothing for us to take here. Pretty much all liquidity here got hit already. Price broke below the resistance level. This might be another fake out down below. I think sentiment's still super high. So yeah, it's getting even higher. So sentiment is now at 84%. This is why I was saying that they have to let price drop down a little bit so that these people won't jump out of their sells, right? You want them to keep their sells so that you have liquidity sitting that's up top. So right here, okay, so let's go to our liquidity chart again. Let me clean this up. Or actually, I don't need to clean this up. I'll just take these lines off. Now, you can draw more liquidity here if you really wanted to. So if you wanted to draw liquidity here, you got one right there. I'll color this green. One next to it. One right there. So if price continues to climb its way lower, you can just draw more liquidity right there, right? And then when price finally climbs up, it's going to knock out that liquidity, which eventually it's probably going to climb up. But I'm pretty happy with my profits, so I'm not going to force any more trades for today. I already kind of made I made a lot of mistakes today, actually. The first trade I took was a FOMO trade. The second trade I took was a FOMO trade. The third trade was actually a good one for that momentum pullback scalp. But, it just goes to show that FOMO isn't something that you really grow out of. FOMO you just get better at controlling it. Sometimes it kind of runs loose, but for the most part, as long as you're not FOMOing every single trade, you can be perfectly fine. But other than that, let's see. Yeah, there's just no good entries here right now, guys. I mean, looking back and forth, there's nothing for us to take here. You guys can see the volatility starting to die down. We went from 22 volatility to now 15, which is not horrible. It's still good. But as this continues to get lower and lower, you're going to see these candles come up with the buy signal and just disappear, right? So this right here, we'll see if it closes. And it doesn't close. So you're going to get a lot of that. You're going to get a lot of fake candles here that will come up. Look like it's going to actually push up and it just kind of slows down a bit and then dies out. Another buy signal here. Still hasn't closed. I don't think it'll close. So this is where it becomes tricky. If you see a lot of buy signals here come up, I'm pretty sure this has been a buy signal for like maybe the past 3 or 4 candles. You want to stay away from this here because this is there's just no certainty as to the direction of price. Usually if you get a buy signal, it's going to get a buy signal right away and it's going to continue climbing. But this right here, you can see every candle is just like it's attempting to close with a buy signal, but then it disappears because there's not enough volatility or there's not enough volume to push price up. It wants to go up, but it doesn't really have that push behind it. So, all right, guys. Yeah, if there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. If you guys have more profits to post up, feel free to post them up. Let's see, we got some more team profits here. We've got Delicia, total profit of 1,113 for the day. All wins. Nice work, Delicia. We got Jeff over here. Nice work on your trades. Looks like you held on to that trade, Jeff, right? That that momentum pullback scalp. You mentioned that like they as soon as you clicked in, they kind of sharked you with that drop to the downside. But I'm glad that you held on to it because it played out nicely. So total profit of 77.60 for Jeff. Great work there. We have Maddie here, total profit of 2,620 for the day, all wins. Nice work, Maddie. We got Gian, total profit of 1,660 on his funded account. Nice work, Gian. We got Vince, total profit of 725 for the day, all wins here. We got Andrew, total profit of 2,400 per account. So that's 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 14,000 for the day. Nice work, Andrew. Yeah, Andrew said he took a long break after blowing his account, just sat and watched the live, but he started the year fresh and strong. Yeah, definitely, Andrew. We got Andreas here, total profit of 540 for the day, all wins. And that's pretty much all the profit so far. So you guys did pretty good. I mean, looks like everybody here locked in some profit to kick off the year. I mean, which is great. You know, that's how you guys want to start the year off. You want to start off the year strong, make some profits. You don't have to make a lot, but make a little bit to get your confidence up so that you can continue pushing through. You know, January is usually a really good year for a good month for us. So you just gotta don't force any trades, stay consistent, stay disciplined, look for the quality entries. You know, it doesn't even have to be a quality entry. If it's an entry that fits your criteria and it lines up with my analysis, then take the trade. You know, because January is one of those months where you can kind of just let it rip, right? If you guys look at our profits here from January last year, we had so much, like we had a total pit profit of 6,950. We had an 88% win rate. We had 23 wins and 3 losses. I think January is like the month that we have the most profit. So like right here, we had almost 7,000 pips in January last year. We don't get anywhere near that throughout the rest of the year. I think the closest that we get to that is maybe like 3,000 pips. Yeah, 3,300, that's it. So just keep it in mind. If you guys can stay on the game plan and don't make any mistakes and just kind of just follow what you were like, you know, follow whatever your trading plan is, you guys can make a lot of profit in January. So last year, January, we made about 7,000 pips. The closest we got to that was about 3,300 in May. And that's because we had no losses. But we made 7,000 pips with losses in January of last year. And they were big losses too. So we took 1,000 pip loss, 500 pip loss, 500 pip loss. Everything else was like straight win zone. So, and I can see over here that our TPs were a bit bigger. You can see they were at 250. So if we have to make adjustments to our TPs, if the volatility stays super high, then we'll do that. Right now, we're still at our original 1030 split. If the volatility picks up, we'll go to 2550. And then if you want to take the original breakout, you guys can do that as well. But all right, Nikki, we'll see you back here tomorrow as well. But yeah, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to put them in the chat. I don't really see much happening here from now until like 8 o'clock. The volatility is still decent, but you can see this buy signal has been pending for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, about 8 candles now. Looks like it's finally going to close. Nope. So as soon as I said that, I was like, it looks like it's finally going to close. It didn't. So this is probably a sign to maybe stop trading for the day, right? Because there's no volatility. I mean, there's volatility, but it's not good volatility. We want those buy signals to close and continue climbing. But you can see here, the buy signal has been pending for about 10 candles now. 10 or 9 candles. All right, Nick, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Nick's done for the day. Nikki's done for the day. Andrew's done for the day. Yeah, if there's any more profits that you guys want to post up, we got Nathan here. Looks like he's about to be done too. Total profit of 2,550. Looks like Nathan didn't even take those sells. I thought you got into those sells that you were mentioning, but that's all good. I would have done the same thing you did here. So he identified the sells, but didn't take them. He just looked at them, but he was looking to take buys here as price continued to climb up. So nice work there, Nathan. All wins. All right, Jeff, we'll see you back here tomorrow. So, all right, guys, it looks like majority of you guys are here are logging off. So if you guys have any more questions, feel free to put them in the chat. As you can see over here, again, another pending buy signal. Yeah, for sure. I'm done with trading for the day because I think, so if you guys continue to see these buy signals here, I could see a lot of people maybe FOMOing into a trade, right? I mean, which is easy. It's easy to FOMO into a trade because you want this buy signal to close. But as soon as you enter the trade, no buy signal, right? And then you're like, crap, I'm in a position that I'm not supposed to be in. So again, I don't really recommend you guys force any trades here. If you see something great, then take it. But if not, then we got a whole week ahead of us, guys. Just keep that in mind. You know, I know today's Tuesday, but we have Wednesday, Thursday, Friday still first week of trading. So, you know, if you locked in a couple of profits today, I would just pack up and wrap it up for the day and then come back tomorrow and do the same thing. And there goes a buy signal right there, another fake out. All right, Randy, we'll see you back here tomorrow. Yeah, it's also NFP. Thanks, Maddie, for mentioning that. I didn't realize that it was NFP. Yep, we got NFP this Friday. So we got more news tomorrow. Tomorrow morning, let's see. We got news at 7 o'clock. That's about it. Thursday, we got some high impact news, initial jobless claims, pre-market, some news during market, and then obviously Friday NFP. Yeah, we got a lot of time. There's no need to force anything. We got a lot of time ahead of us. All right, guys. So I think this might be it. Again, we have another pending buy signal. You can see how many times it's been pending now. I think this is now the 12th candle. So I wouldn't risk it. It's not worth the risk. Price is pushing back up to this area. Looks like it's finally breaking resistance. Hit that level of liquidity right there. Looks like it already hit CP too. So we got that 1 minute level of liquidity. So I think this is what I'll do for moving forward, guys. I'll draw up the different levels of liquidity here. And then on the 1 minute, I'll drop more liquidity if we have a direction. Because I think this here will be a good confluence for us too, because we'll see if everything is super one-sided. Price is probably gonna push up, hit that liquidity. We finally got the buy signal here, but again, you can see price at this point is a bit overextended. We'll measure from this lower low. Yeah, price is up about 900 pips at this point. It's getting to that point where it's a little too overextended, and I'm not going to risk it. I'll watch it. So, okay, we'll watch this and we'll see if it plays through. I'm not going to take a trade. I think it's too risky because the price is a bit overextended. I don't even know if this will close properly, but I will just mark it up for you guys here. So you guys can see here how tricky these entries are. So there's the breakout V3 continuation. If this would have came up earlier, like down here, I would have been more likely to take it, but this thing has been pending for like 15, 20 minutes now, and it's just way too risky for me to enter it. So yeah, Maddie's had been waiting for that to Asia the whole session, exactly. So yeah, here's a breakout V3 continuation. It'll probably push through. I think this will push through because the target price point's Asia low right there. So there you go, full TP on that breakout V3 continuation to wrap up the day so far. And there goes price going right up to our target price point that we were waiting for pretty much all session. So it did exactly what we were waiting. This is the trade we were looking for pretty much all session. Never came up, finally came up, and I didn't take it. Yeah, Maddie was holding on to it for a triple confluence as well. So yeah, so there's a lot of entries here. If you guys look back, there's like maybe 10 or 20 entries that came up today. There was a couple breakouts, couple V1s, couple momentum pullback scalps. There's a triple confluence right here that Maddie was looking for. This thing lined up with the breakout V3 continuation, and then it went exactly to where we were waiting for price to push. So we've been looking for price to reach this Asia low from like way down here. So market opened right here, and we're like, okay, the next target price point, once price got to this high point right here, was going to be the Asia low, right? The sessions. It took a while for it to get there, but eventually it got to that point. So, I mean, it's all good. I'm pretty sure everybody here is still happy with their profits, regardless of the fact. I mean, this would have been a nice profit to catch again, but it's all good. You don't need to force any trades here. We still have a whole week ahead of us. So, see, we got some more profits here from Valentine. Valentine locked in a total profit of 2,758 for the day. Nice work, Valentine. Yeah, so it looks like Valentine here took sells. If he would have avoided the sells here, he would have been perfectly fine. So again, this is just another reminder that if the direction is so obvious in one direction, then I would try to aim for just one direction of trades. So nice work, Valentine, on recovering those losses and bring yourself back into profit. We have Kip here with a total profit of 5,555 for the day. Nice work, Kip. All wins there as well. And we have Maddie here, total profit of 5,020 to start off the trading year. So nice work, Maddie. Starting off the trading week and the trading year with some pretty good profits. All right, I think that's about it, guys. So if there's any other questions, feel free to reach out. I think I'm gonna wrap this up. It's 7:47 right now, getting closer to 8 o'clock. So it's about time for us to wrap up. Victor's asking, is 250 on a 1,000 account good? Yeah, that's pretty good. I mean, that's what is that? That's like 25%. That's pretty good for I would consider that a flip though. So like that, I think you were taking like too big of a risk, but I mean the profit's good, but I think your risk was probably just a little too high. Because you should be risking like 3%. So like if you're trading a $1,000 account, your profit should be around 30 bucks. That's gonna be a 3% gain. I mean, you could probably get between 5 and 10%. So like the highest that you could probably make if your risk is proper would be like 100 bucks. But you made like 25%. So I'm assuming you took like a pretty big risk, a big lot size, and you just let it run and it played through. So I mean that's good if you're over leveraging your account. But again, if you're trading a small account, like 1,000 bucks is not going to make you a millionaire, right? So if you want to flip the account, that's fine. You just have to understand the risk. But for me, I'm trading a bigger account. Like for example, if you're trading like like a funded account or something like that, like I'm on a 200K account, right? And I'm going for 3%. I'm only going for like 6,000 for the day, right? That's how much I would make. And my profit for the day here, I locked in about 2,000. So a little less than 3%, maybe like 2%. So that's kind of what that's only if you're trying to use proper risk. So, I mean, if you're on a smaller account, it's easier for you to flip it, but I wouldn't take like a 20% risk on a 200K account. It's just the risk is just way too high. Kenneth over here also mentioned that the momentum pullback scalp. Yes, there was one right here. It looks like it came up. Price pushed up, pulled back right here. Momentum pullback scalp at this level right here. Full TP. So another entry right there, full TP, guys, for anybody who decided to take that there. So I think moving forward, I mean, for me personally, I'm going to stick to like just two entries again. I'm not going to try to do too much. So I'm going to try to stick to either the momentum pullback scalps and the breakout V3 continuations. I'm going to try to keep it really, really simple so that people don't get confused here on the live session. But again, if you guys know the other strategies, you can. Like Maddie here took the triple confluence. That was a full TP. People took V1 variations. That's a full TP. There's a lot of different entries you can take, but I'm going to try to stick to like maybe 2 or 3 strategies on this live session for my official entries so that we don't get, mixed up. So, all right, guys, it's 7:50 right now, 10 minutes till 8. I'm not really expecting too much to happen from now until then. Price is at the Asia low. So at this point, price might get manipulated or it might just range around this area. So I'm not really looking to take anything here. It's past 7:30 anyways, which is usually my cutoff for entering any riskier trades because the volatility here starts to die down a bit. Kip said, take a minute to brag about Maddie. Well, would Maddie do anything special? I mean, other than his profits. So yeah, Maddie here did pretty good. Like looking over here, yeah, exactly. So Maddie does deserve some recognition. So like Kip over here mentioned that Maddie has 11 funded accounts with Apex. That's crazy, right? I don't know anybody else who has 11 funded accounts with Apex. That's a lot. So Maddie has 11 funded accounts. He takes small trades, right? He made 420 per account and they multiply. So this is super discipline right here. Like Maddie's not taking these big trades. He's taking a small trade like I'm doing, but he has 11 accounts here. So 11 accounts and he's making 400 to 800 bucks per account. That thing added up to 5,020 in just like 2 trades for the day. So, just keep that in mind, guys. Maddie here is a great example. Maddie's like, he came from not knowing zero about trading and he really put in the work. And now he's just following exactly what I'm doing. And he lines up his profits every single day. So just keep that in mind, guys. Maddie's a good example. If you guys, I don't know if Maddie's still mentoring people, but he mentored a lot of people. I think Maddie has trained or mentored, I think about 4 or 5 people, maybe 6 people, and they're all funded. So, I don't really teach anymore. Maddie's kind of taking over that. And yeah, he's a clear example of like consistency and discipline. We got Delicia over here, total profit of 1,281 for the day. Nice work, Delicia. All wins there. And then we have Kayshawn over here, total profit of 241 for the day. Nice work, Kayshawn. Yeah, nice work, guys. So great profits here across everybody, guys. You guys killed it with all of these profits. As of now, I think you guys should probably just wrap it up because obviously price is going back and forth. A lot of ranging right here. And we'll just wrap this up for tomorrow. So, all right, guys, if there's any other questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, we did some pretty good profit for the day. Here are my profits for the day. Here, I'll just add up my profits. So 315 plus 1860 plus 960 plus 174 plus 780 plus 786 plus 686. Total profit of 6,561. So same situation here. You have multiple accounts, just like Maddie does, and they add up to a pretty good profit. So total profit for me today is 6,581 across, 6,561 across all my accounts. And that's pretty much it. So, all right, guys, if you guys have any other questions, feel free to reach out. Otherwise, we're going to wrap this up. I don't think there's any good entries coming up. You guys can see the volatility is dying down. We went from 22 ATR now down to 14, and it's just getting lower and lower. So, all right, guys, other than that, we'll wrap this up, and I'll see you guys back.